All praise to the Most High Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders, a great millstone, pushing this doctrine of truth to the nation of Israel, who is scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. I want to say peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. Alright, I wanted to do a lesson. Well, the title of the lesson is Esau's Enchantments are working on the 2/3 and the Heathens. Okay, so I came across this article here regarding the Crown Royal 19. Maxine's, and it reads, more Americans now willing to get Crown Royal 19 Maxine. So why is that? Well, they have been bombarding the media, or their media, through or about the number of Crown Royal cases. Okay, now they're basically pressing the panic button, trying to convince people that it's really bad in terms of the number of fatalities and number of cases. And of course, by way of their media, they're able to convince people that this is true. Okay? These people are putting enchantments on the public on a worldwide scale, and it's pretty effective, obviously, because it says more Americans now willing to get the Crown Royal 19 Maxine. So what they're doing by way of the media is working. It's working. I mean, I have co-workers that are terrified. One co-worker in particular, who happens to be a doctor, refuses to fly on airplanes, of course. He refuses to go into a restaurant with his wife or his children. He refuses to go anywhere without his mask. He's absolutely terrified. I mean, of all people, you would think that a doctor would know better, but that's not the truth. That is not the truth. This man is terrified. And we were talking about whether or not this Maxine would be safe enough to take, and of course he's all for it. He said, I'm going to be the first one in line to take it. So, I mean, it just goes to show you that this propaganda machine, their media, is very, very effective, because it shapes the minds of people that are subject to their enchantments. Okay? Now, the media is basically a medium, and it's a medium to disseminate ideas, propaganda, to push an agenda, because if they repeat the things that they're trying to push, their agendas, enough, if they bombard you with this information enough, and they really do, around the clock, not just a couple times a day, around the clock, ultimately it's going to achieve its goal in terms of conditioning the minds of people. Okay? This is just like in the early 2000s when they launched a campaign. It was the War on Terror under Bush and the Republicans. Okay? I'm neither Democrat or Republican. I don't get involved in that crap. But, because I'm an Israelite, obviously. And those of us in the truth, we know that we have no business partaking in that nonsense, that foolishness. But anyway, during his tenure, they used the War on Terror campaign to condition the minds of the American public so they could ultimately make a case to go to war against Iraq, or invade Iraq under the guise of them having weapons of mass destruction. They made the case to go into Afghanistan under the guise of, trying to hunt out Osama bin Laden. So their media is a very, very, very powerful tool. Okay? And they speak enchantments against the people to shape their minds. And what are some of the an enchantment? Let's define enchantment. Number one, this definition, the feeling of great pleasure, delight. That's not what we want. Number two, the state of being under a spell, magic. That's it. Okay? So they essentially put spells on people by way of their media. Okay? We know that to be true. So these enchantments are working on heathens. They're not working on Jacob, the Israelites, the elect of Jacob. Okay? Because it's obviously working on the 2/3 of the Israelites. Well, the co-worker I was just telling you about is a Jake from the tribe of Issachar. And, anyway, yeah. He's gone. His mind is gone. Okay, but obviously the enchantments are working against him and people like him, right? So anyway, let's jump into this article again. Alright, so 58% of Americans say they would get a Crown Royal 19 Maxine. Democrats, older Americans, among the most willing to get a Maxine. Speed of development, most commonly cited reason to not vaccinate. Americans' willingness to be vaccinated against Crown Royal 19 rebounded a bit in October, as seen in Gallup polling conducted before Pfizer, BioNTech, and Moderna made promising announcements about the likely effectiveness of their Crown Royal vaccines. 58% of Americans in the latest poll say they would get a Crown Royal 19 vaccine, up from a low of 50% in September. So like I said, this is proof that it's working. People are scared. People want to get back to normal. People want to be able to go back out in public, go to restaurants and malls. They want everything to get back to normal. But I got a surprise for you. Okay? Nothing's going to go back to normal, even when you do get these vaccines. Because I just watched a video saying that even though you get vaccinated, you're still going to have to walk around with that stupid ass mask on your face. Now, Doesn't that sort of defeat the purpose of getting vaccinated? What gives? It just goes to show you that this is not about the crown royal per se, but it's about control. Alright? This is some symbolism going on that has a deep meaning. It's about control. Control of the masses. And that's exactly what they're doing. All the while, like I said, speaking their enchantments. It's working. So let's take a look at this graph. Roughly 6 in 10 Americans would agree to be vaccinated against Crown Royal 19. If an FDA-approved Maxine prevent Crown Royal 19 was available right now at no cost, would you agree to be vaccinated? And let's see, 66%. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, that's pretty heavy. That's pretty heavy. So 6 out of 10 Americans, that's 60% roughly. These latest data come from a Gallup poll, or Gallup panel survey conducted October 19th to November 1. As Crown Royal infections continue to increase across the U.S., a vaccine for the disease is seen as key to returning Americans' lives to normal and allowing the lifting of restrictions that would permit a full economic recovery for the country. Little do they know, there's not going to be any recovery. In fact, there's going to be a crash. The dollar's on the way to crashing. Okay? A lot of countries are getting out of the petrodollar, okay, in favor of the Chinese yuan. So that is going to contribute to the end, to the crashing of the dollar. Okay, so it's time to break out some scriptures. Let's go to the book of Ephesians, okay? Because those of us in the truth, those of us protected and covered by the blood of the Lamb, Yahushua, we don't have to worry about any of these enchantments, okay? So it's incumbent upon us to, I'll let Ephesians explain it away here. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of Yahweh, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. Verse 12, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of Yahweh, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand. Okay. So, putting on the whole armor of Yahweh means putting on this truth, okay? Putting on this truth and having faith in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, that you're going to be protected from all the wiles of the devil. Okay? Because when you do that, these devils and their devices can't touch you. Right? They won't touch you. And let's get that. In the book of Isaiah, chapter 54, verse 17. No weapon that is formed against me shall against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and their righteousness is of me, saith Yahweh. So this goes to show you that in order for this to work, in order for no weapon be able to prosper against you, you have to be righteous. And what makes you righteous? Following the laws, statutes, and commandments after establishing faith in the Lord and His only begotten Son. Okay? He says this is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and the servants are the Israelites. Okay? So you would have to turn from transgression in order to get this protection. That's what's going to make you righteous. Okay? So when you're righteous, you're protected. How do we know that? No weapon that is formed against thee, and they had a lot of weapons formed against us, but we're still standing. Okay? We're still standing as a nation. We're a very resilient people. Okay? So their weapons aren't going to prosper. And one of their many weapons is this Maxine for the Crown Royal 19. Okay? And we know it's formed against us because they're targeting Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. So I'm going to leave it at that. Lastly, let's go to Numbers 23, verse 23. Surely there is no enchantment against Jacob, neither is there any divination against Israel. According to this time it shall be said of Jacob and of Israel, what hath Yahweh wrought? Okay? So there's no enchantments against Jacob. And that basically means the elect of Jacob. Right? Because, again, many of these enchantments have been working against our people. Alright? But they're obviously not the truth. If they're not the truth, they're not going to be protected. Alright? They're going to fall victim to these enchantments. And ultimately fall victim to taking the mark of the beast, which is the RFID microchip. Alright? This is all leading up to that. This is a prelude to the mark of the beast. Okay? And the mark of the beast is not Christianity. It's not the image of Caesar Borgia, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. It's not white women, like those idiots from one of those damn camps say. How in the world could it be a white woman? You people are dumb, man. Anyway. Alright. That's all I have. I'm going to wrap it up. I hope this was edifying. I want to say all praise to the Most High Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone, pushing this doctrine of truth to the four corners of the earth, where the Israelites happen to be scattered. Okay? Alright, until next time, Shalom.